Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and with me today is
Hello.
Anna Wassenberg.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah, I'm excited to have her on the show. Now, what we're going to be doing here, folks, this is the first in a new series that I'm going to do. It's going to be a short live series. But what we're doing is I'm going to continue going through my top 100 games, except I'm done with them. So we start with today, 101, going to 105. And then I'm going to do that. And each time I do this, I'm going to try to bring somebody on. And my only caveat was they had to play at least 2 of the games. And I don't know which games Anna has played, so I'm going to be trying to guess that throughout the episode, which ones. And then the ones that she hasn't played, I'm going to try to convince her to try them out. But before we do that, what? That's my job. For those of you who may never seen Anna before, Anna, tell us a little bit about yourself and the board game world. No, can you hear me? Oh, I think we lost. Anna, can you still hear me? Can the people out there hear me? We may have lost connection here. Well, that's a good start. Let me jump to Skype. Well, folks, I'm glad you all are here. These things happen sometimes. We're calling halfway across the world. I can hear you now, Anna. Can you hear me? Nope, the connection is gone. Alrighty. We're going to try that again. Sorry, folks. You're back.
Yes, I'm back.
All right. I don't know what happened there, but we lost you briefly for a moment. Anna's back. Anna,
no.
For people who haven't seen you before, can you tell us a little bit about yourself in the board game world?
Yes. So I've been reviewing about 5 years now, I guess. Started when I was very young. I'm still very young though, 27. And I'm wearing the T-shirt. Look. So if Z sees this, I'm being a good Dice Tower contributor. Wearing the Blender T-shirt, that's where I started. And I'm doing Dutch and English reviews with the Dice Tower and on my own website, Budget Spelen.
And you were saying you're part of an award committee.
Yeah, for the Dutch, the Nederlandse Spellenprijs. So for the Dutch board game of the year. Yeah. So
what game won that award last year?
So last year we have 3 different categories, a little bit in the style of Spiel. So last year Architects won the big prize, and Point Salad for family oriented won the other prize. Yeah.
Alrighty, folks. Well, I don't want to waste time. We're certainly glad to have Anna with us. Let's just jump right to the 5 games.
Let's go.
Here's the first one, and we're using Board Game Geek to take a look at these games, the biggest, best database about board games. So first we have Dixit, a party game that just missed my list of the top 100, but I do like this one. This one got pushed off a little bit for me by Detective Club, but I still like the cleverness of the clues you can give when you're looking at crazy cards like this one here. Although that one looks like someone painted the whole wall of their house like a Dixit card. Anna, I am feeling strongly that you have played this one.
You're sure? What gave it away?
The only thing that would give it away, I think, is it's a game that most people have played. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of gateway game.
So what do you think of this one?
Just to say, I played this game, yes. I enjoyed it a lot. It's actually one of the first games that I got when I started with board gaming when I was 17, and I've played it a lot with my girlfriends then and in high school, and also when I was in college. And I think the beautiful thing about it is that it's like not a game kind of game. So I could even play this with my father, who is very philosophical and loves philosophy and hates anything that's kind of lowbrow. But he enjoys this game because it's more about, how people think, and everyone just thinks different. And that's what I always enjoyed about it.
That's true. I've had a good experience playing this with a bunch of teachers one time for that same reason. Huh.
Yeah.
I forgot how long this game has been out. 2008. That's 13 years ago. So, yes. All right. Well, that's the first one, folks. Dixit, fantastic party game. If my family was getting together to make their top 100 games, this would be in the top 10, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 102 is The King's Guild. Now, I feel very confident, just like with Dixit, I'm just as confident that you have not played this one. Am I correct?
Haven't. No. Yeah, you're correct. Yes.
All right. This one here is, if you've never played this, folks, and I can understand why, this one did not get a ton of buzz about it, but this feels like a gamer version of Splendor. Anna, do you like Splendor?
Yeah. Marvel Splendor I've also played.
Okay, well, that's not much different. But this is the same kind of thing. So there's resources there. You can see them on this picture. Well, I don't know if you can see my picture, but there's resources in the game, and you can either take resources or you spend these resources to make items for people who are going out to venture. You're just a store owner. And then when you do that, you get cards, and then you can build buildings to make your things better. So it's like Splendor, but for gamers, I feel like. Because Splendor is a very strong, welcoming game. It can be played by anybody. This is still pretty simple, but I think is a step up. I would play this over Splendor any day.
Okay, but you're trying to convince me, right? So, how you can convince me is tell me how this is a step up from Splendor.
Okay, the reason it's a step up is because essentially in this one you can make what you do better. So like in this game, for example, you can take some of the same resources or different ones, but I might buy a building that now lets me take 3 different resources instead of 2. I might take something that when I build a certain kind of card gives me a discount, and so you have ways to basically make yourself better, to get special powers to make the game faster.
Yeah.
So there's also various different scoring methods. It's not just points at the end of the game. I mean, it's points, but there's different cards. If you collect a set of cards, they're worth a lot of points. If you collect, some cards are just straight points. And so I also like the theme about being the person to make the items for the people going out on adventures.
Yeah, that's a good theme. It's better than Splendor. I mean,
well, Splendor
in that department.
Splendor has no theme.
Hey, there was a Marvel Splendor, so.
That's true, and that kind of proves the point. All right, the next one is Undaunted. Now, the one I'm showing here on screen, folks, is Undaunted North Africa. It is essentially the same game as Undaunted Normandy. It's a series of games. I put them together. They're the same game. North Africa has vehicles, and there's some slight rules differences, but they're essentially the same. I actually can show you both. Here's Undaunted Normandy. This, for me, has replaced, briefly, Memoir 44. It's just a few units you have running around a battlefield fighting each other in World War II. No.
No. This is definitely not my kind of game.
If it's not your kind of game, I'm going to actually go back on what I said earlier. I would not try to persuade you to play it because I think you have to it's a very, very light war game, but you still have to kind of like that. It's deck building.
I like things like Heroes of Land, Air and Sea. We definitely have, where you do have to attack each other. But I'm always the kind of person that will, if there's another way to win, like with Heroes of Land, Air and Sea, I'm going to play the strategy where everyone has to ignore me and I'm just staring daggers at them, trying to convince me to not attack me. So nope.
Huh. So you don't like direct confrontation per se. Well, then that makes...
I don't like when it's a choice. So I love Small World, and I like Blood Rage and everything like that. But if I have a choice, so for example, also Cry Havoc. So also Cry Havoc. If there's a choice, I just don't like it. No. I will run away. Just leave me alone, getting my points, or harvesting my points. I'm trying to build here something. Just don't destroy me.
I see some notice in the comments where people are saying these are not the same game. Well, they literally are the same system, though. I know they're different games, and you can definitely have both of them if you like the Normandy scenarios and the North Africa version, but I can't imagine you having a much different rating for the two of them, really, because they have that same system. I think North Africa is better, slightly because they improved a little bit on the same system, but I think for the main part, they're both fantastic, and to me, it's the same kind of game system in my head. Just like I think Tickets Rides are the same.
When I read it here, it says deck building on Board Game Geek. I mean, I cannot really imagine a deck building game that is also a war game. How does that work?
So each turn you'll draw cards from your deck, and those are the units that you can use that turn.
Okay.
And then you can get more cards, so you can use some units more. And as your units take damage, cards will come out of your deck, which means they activate less often, which is actually a pretty cool thing. But again.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, next one. The King's Dilemma. This is a game I really enjoy. It's a legacy style game. You're going to go through and around the table make decisions on how to run a kingdom. And you make some pretty strong, morally ambiguous decisions. You'll be like, what do we do? Like, for example, a rich merchant shows up at your court and he has a slave with him. And then you have to say, well, slavery is wrong, of course, but do you push your opinion on this merchant at the expense of causing possibly a war with his kingdom, or do you do what you think is right? So there's choices like that, but at the same time, you have endgame goals in mind. So you might pick a decision that you might find personally morally repugnant. And since you're not in your head, I'm saying you played this one.
Yeah, I played this one. I played this until the end. I enjoyed it a lot. Just because of the reasons you also mentioned, the dilemmas are real dilemmas. You really have to think about, and you will remember them. That is what I like, because there is a lot of games where they make it feel like the choices are memorable, but they are not. But this game, they are. And they you will remember also what the other people chose, and you will be like, I will hold you accountable. How could you sacrifice the child or something like that? Because we had like this game where one player was very into the religion part of the gameplay. So there was a lot of heretics. We did a horrible thing to the heretics in our country.
It's pretty interesting. And so it is definitely adult level decisions. And I'm not talking about
definitely.
Like, it's just decisions that you're going to sit there and, yes, it's a game, but it does make some, and whatever you do has long-ranging consequences. So I found it to be fascinating. The only negative about this is there will be maybe this many cards that you won't even see.
Yeah, that is true.
Because your game will be different. All right, last game is Skulk Hollow. Now, I said you had to play at least 2 games, so we already hit 2. I don't think this one has been outside America too much, so I'm going to say no.
No, I haven't played it, but it is a 2-player game. I've already seen. So I tend to really enjoy 2-player games. So I think this will not be that hard of a sell for you.
Well, what it is one person is controlling a big giant creature, like an octopus or a troll. And then the other person's controlling a bunch of little woodland creatures who are fighting against this big creature. And so it's very asymmetrical, and you also have different big creatures, and you have different leaders of the woodland people. And then you're just playing. The big creature's a big board, and the little creatures are like trying to damage the head and the arms, making it slower and harder to move. So it's obviously combat, but it's very, very light. But I like it because there's, I think, 16 combinations in the game. The artwork's fantastic. I like the idea of the little woodland creatures fighting against one big giant, thing.
It's like David versus Goliath.
Yeah, and this has been done in games before. There's an older game called Ogre, which was that same thing. One big giant tank ogre machine against a whole bunch of little things. It seems pretty balanced. It can be played in 30 to 45 minutes. I think you would like. Do you like the art?
Yeah, I love the art.
Yeah,
it's amazing, and also the minis, like those little.
Oh, the little meeple things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
this
that
is.
when they don't use miniatures, but just kind of like those wooden meeples.
I'm kind of a sucker for this theme. When I was a child, I read a series of books called Redwall, where it's like there's also another book called Watership Down.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the idea of animals being fighters and stuff. It like appealed to my imagination. And
like with brutes, it's a good theme.
Alrighty, well, let's see what the people chose. I put up a poll on the YouTube channel. So
interesting.
I said, which of these do you like best? And well, let me refresh this here because we want to see. So we got 653 votes, and Dixit is first by a mile, 40% of the votes. But second is King's Dilemma.
I wonder why that is. Really? So I think a lot of people already play it.
I guess. Well, it's been out now for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I thought more people might pick Undaunted.
Yeah.
But King's Guild is the lowest. That doesn't surprise me. That's one of my kind of weirder picks.
Yeah.
But, well, there you go.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
That's it, folks.
Good choices.
This is not going to be a long series of videos. We're going to do this once a week or almost once a week. We just come in, talk about these games, and hopefully you can learn about some good games because all the way up to 350, I still think they're great games. I did the calculations. I played about 7,200 games. So this is about 2% of the games I played. I got to like, if I don't like 2% of the games I played, I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah. You should be doing something else.
You know, it's interesting. I wonder if I put all my games in a row, what number I like more than not like. I'm assuming I like more than 50%. Maybe? Like, I don't like more than 50% of games.
Like, from that point on, you can truly say they are garbage.
Well, there's going to be a lot, though, that are like, meh.
Yeah.
In the middle.
But that's the not interesting part. People don't want to hear you talk about meh games.
That's true.
It has to be amazing or trash.
5 more meh games. All right. Well,
it's just video of 5 seconds of you saying no.
Well, folks, I'm going to try to get different guests each week, just people to pop in and join me to talk about these games and things like that. Anna, thanks so much. She actually has you have a review going up this week on the Dice Tower, I believe.
Yeah.
So come back and check that out. What's the game?
Bees.
All righty.
Bee games.
And we're going to be live here in 45 minutes, folks, again with Shoots and Marbles, our marble race. If you never watched it, come on and join us. It's insanely weird, but also insanely fun. Anna, thanks so much for joining us. Where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at Budget Spelen. And that's also the Instagram Budget Spelen.
All righty. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. 5 more great games. See you next time. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
Goodbye, I'm Anna.
Have fun gaming.